forget and neglect the killing of innocent people and democracy activists on a daily basis. We assign them to keep on fighting till the end. The revolution must be succeed. In my conclusion, I would like to remind a few words of Salai Kimawin, Burmese student hero and teen student leader.
Our elected leaders, our students, May Online, May Online, May Online, Canada recognize, we support, Canada recognize, we support, Myanmar military, Myanmar military, Myanmar military, Canada's government, global action, Canada's government, global action, Ban Menashe, Ban Menashe, Ban Menashe, we want, we want, we want our elected leaders, our students, our elected leaders, our students, May Online, May Online, May Online, Canada recognize, we support, Canada's recognize, we support, Myanmar military, Myanmar military, Myanmar military, Canada government, global action, Canada's government, global action.
I can describe that, sure. So for today, it's a very special day because in Myanmar, March 27 represents Armed Forces Day, which is a day that the military celebrates their so-called achievements, right? But in actuality, they're celebrating torture, rape, sexual assault, theft from the people of Myanmar. So because of that, we're using their day, that was formerly Revolution Day for us, for the Myanmar people that from defeating the Japanese occupation. So we're using this day, a special day for them to do our protest, and this is happening worldwide. This is not just over here. There's protests happening in Montreal and Edmonton as well, and other parts of the world. And today we mainly want the government to understand that the CRPH is the elected lawmakers that we have that was democratically elected, and we want them to recognize them, right? And we want the international community to recognize them. They will pave the way to federal democracy in Myanmar, so we must give them our utmost support. And secondly, we also want the world to know that we want this military dictatorship, authoritarian rule, however you want to call it, to end in our generation. We're Generation Z. We want this to end. We don't want this to happen further down the road for our grandchildren. Like, we don't want that anymore. So we want the world to know that. And lastly, we want the Canadian government to take harsher and firmer action against the coup. We want them to recognize the military as a terrorist organization, and from then we're able to implement other applicable laws. Most importantly, we don't want the lobby firm Dickinson Matson from lobbying for the military junta, right? So those are the things that we want the Canadian government to understand, and this is why we're protesting here today. Thank you. Sure, my name is Lyndon Cho. Yeah, thank you very much.
And just imagine if you
in their shoes right now, you would die for the help that we could give. My grandparents protested. My parents protested. And now I'm here protesting. We would be a really cruel generation if we let our future generation, my future kids, and their future kids, and their future kids come into this world having to fight for the same damn thing. So I think it's really important that we just stand in unity today. So let's just look at everyone. Just look at who's here. Look at the world. Look at all the cars that's driving by. And let's just shout, "We hear you," really loudly 5 times, because we need to let the world know that we hear our brothers and sisters across the world suffering. We hear their protests. We hear what they're fighting for, and we hear what they need. So let's just shout on the count of 3. We hear you 5 times as loud as we can. Okay? 1, hear you. We hear you.
We want our elected leaders. Our elected leaders. Our students. Our students. May online. May online. May online. Canada recognize. We support. Canada recognize. We support. Myanmar military. Myanmar military. Myanmar military. Canada's government. Global action. Canada's government. Global action. Canada's government. Global action. Ben Menashe. Ben Menashe.
Hi everyone. Thank you for coming today. We are Thai Democratic Movement, a group of Thais fighting for democracy in Canada. So this is our statement. So in solidarity with our Burmese brothers and sisters, we Thai Democratic Movement in Canada are here today to condemn the Thai and the Burmese military dictators. We are now watching Burma on the brink of an escalating political and humanitarian crisis. But the Thai government, alongside with other dictators such as the CCP and the Russian government, is now endorsing the Burmese military by sending representatives to attend the Armed Force Day military parade in Naypyidaw today. And more shamelessly, the Thai government is now providing supplies to Myanmar military after the